What if I told you that in almost every conversation you have with a woman, there's a whole other conversation happening? A silent one, right under the surface. And believe it or not, that's where all the answers you're looking for are hiding. Okay, let's get into this. We've all done it, right? You walk away from a great conversation and immediately start replaying it in your head, trying to figure out what just happened. But here's the thing, it's not that we're clueless, it's that we're listening for words when the real signals are completely nonverbal. The truth is, attraction has its own subtle, unspoken language. And in this explainer, we're going to learn that language. We're breaking down 7 psychology-backed cues that show she's genuinely interested. So, where do we start? Well, we start with the signals that happen before anyone even says hello. These are those powerful, subconscious body language cues that, honestly, say a whole lot more than words ever could. First up, let's talk about the eyes. Now, I'm not talking about some awkward staring contest here. No. We're talking about eye contact that just holds for a fraction of a second longer than it's supposed to. It's so subtle, but it's everything. You see that moment right there? That is not random. It's not an accident. It's a deliberate little probe. She's opening a tiny window of connection, not just to show you she's interested, but to see if you're paying attention, to see if you're confident enough to notice it. It's a quiet invitation. And here's what's so fascinating. This isn't just some social game. It's actual biology at work. That extended eye contact can literally release oxytocin in both of your brains. Yeah, the bonding hormone. It helps create this feeling of trust and connection on a chemical level. It's her brain and yours building a bridge without saying a single word. Okay, so let's move on to something you've probably seen a million times without even realizing what it was. It's called mirroring. This is when someone starts to subconsciously copy your physical behavior. So picture this. You lean back against the wall and a second later she does the same. Or maybe you scratch your neck and she adjusts her hair. That's her brain on a totally subconscious level saying, hey, I'm on your wavelength, we're in sync. It's this primal human thing we do to build rapport. We just naturally mimic people we feel connected to. All right, next up is a classic, but it's so easy to miss if you don't know the secret. We're talking about those little grooming behaviors, playing with her hair, touching her necklace, smoothing out her shirt. Now, the key here isn't the action itself, but the context. That's what matters. And this is the crucial difference, right? A random hair flip from across the room means nothing. But if she's totally engaged with you, making eye contact, listening to every word, and then she starts these little adjustments, that's her subconscious kicking in. It's this instinct to present her best self to someone she's attracted to. Okay, so you've got the silent signals down. But what happens when you actually start talking? Now we get into the cues that happen mid-conversation, where she's kind of actively testing the waters to see how comfortable you are. Now, this one's a little more subtle. I want you to listen really closely to the sound of her voice. I'm not talking about what she's saying, but the tone, the pitch, the music behind the words. You might notice it changes a lot when she turns to talk to you. I love how one expert put this. If her voice with her friends is loud and energetic, but with you, it suddenly gets softer, maybe a little higher pitched or more playful. That is a huge tell. She is changing her tune, whether she knows it or not, to create this more intimate, one-on-one space just between the two of you. All right, this next sign is probably one of the clearest indicators you can possibly get. We're talking about that brief, casual, physical touch that feels anything but accidental. And make no mistake about it, this is a test. She's breaking that physical barrier in a totally safe, socially okay way just to see how you'll react. If she taps your arm when she's making a point and you're cool with it, you just passed a major test. It's her way of stepping up the connection and seeing if you're on the same page. So you've made it through the silent signals, you've passed the comfort tests, but how do you know if you've actually made a lasting impression after you've both left? These last few signs are all about what happens next. This one is so powerful, but it's really easy to overlook. It's when she remembers the little, seemingly random things you told her in a past conversation. Think about it. Our brains are basically lazy. We filter out tons of information we don't think is important. So if she brings up that tiny detail you mentioned last week, it means her brain has put a big flashing sign on you that says important. You're not just some random guy, you're taking up real estate in her head. So we've covered 6 really solid signs, but this last one, oh man, this is the big one. This is pretty much the most telling sign of them all. If you see this one, you can feel very, very confident about where you stand. This right here is the gold standard. Seriously, women don't brief their entire friend group on every single person they meet. So if her friends already know your name, or even worse, they know your dog's name before you've even been introduced, it means you're not just some guy, you're the guy. See, this isn't just one sign. It's like a whole bundle of confirmations wrapped into one. It proves you're on her mind long after the conversation's over, she's actively getting feedback on you from her trusted crew, and she actually cares what they think. This is not casual interest. This is what you call premium tier attraction. So, there you have it. You've got 7 powerful signs to help you figure out if she's interested. But here's the real question. How do you use this without driving yourself crazy analyzing every single little thing? Let's put it all together. The key is to stop looking for that one single aha moment. It's not about that. Instead, you're looking for a group of signals, a cluster, and the magic number is 3 or more. 1 or 2 could just be a coincidence, but when you hit 3, that's when a coincidence starts to look a lot like a message. And that, right there, is the most important thing to remember. One lingering glance could mean anything, but a lingering glance, plus she's mirroring your posture, and she gives you a little accidental touch on the arm, that's not a coincidence anymore. That's a pattern, and that pattern is telling you something. At the end of the day, these signals are being sent out all the time. The problem isn't that they're secret, it's just that most of us were never taught the language they're spoken in. So the only question left is, now that you know what to look for, what are you going to do about it?